I want to tell you about someone in my family. Smart woman, energetic, optimistic, driven to build wealth from a young age. Every time a new business opportunity showed up, she was the first one in. A makeup brand takes off. She buys inventory. A fashion wave hits. She stocks up wholesale. A restaurant concept starts popping up everywhere. She opens one. A health product goes viral. She goes all in. Her entire strategy was built around one belief. If I move faster than everyone else, I'll get rich faster than everyone else. She spent her whole life being fast, and she died being poor. I'm not sharing that to be harsh. I'm sharing it because I've watched the same pattern play out in dozens of people around me, and maybe around you too. Smart, motivated, hardworking people who are operating with a completely broken relationship with time. I'm Lei, and welcome to Bullish Books, where we turn the best ideas in business and self-development into fuel you can actually use. Today's episode is about the one secret to success that nobody wants to hear. It's not a hack. It's not a system. It's a mindset shift that could be the single most valuable thing you take away from this podcast all year. Let's get into it. Here's the thing. We live in a culture that has been screaming, move fast at us since we were kids. Act now, the iPhone pre-sale ends at midnight. Buy this stock immediately or you'll miss the run-up. Start your YouTube channel this weekend or it'll be too late. Be a millionaire by 30 or you failed. That urgency is everywhere and it is costing people everything. Here's a question worth sitting with. You've been moving fast your entire adult life. How much actual wealth has that produced? For most people, the honest answer is not much, because speed and wealth are not the same thing. And the ancient Chinese proverb said it bluntly, haste makes waste. Nowhere is that more true than in building something that lasts. Now, I recently went deep on a book that reframed the way I think about all of this. It's called Never Too Late to Be Great by Butler-Bowdon. And the central argument of this book might be the most liberating thing you hear today. Here it is. You have far more time than you think. Psychologist David Schwartz, author of The Magic of Thinking Big, spent years watching his students talk themselves out of their own ambitions with one weapon above all others: age. I'm too old to change careers. I'm 40. My best years are behind me. Schwartz got tired of empty encouragement. So instead, he built a simple math exercise. Most people become productive around age 20. With a reasonable health estimate, productivity extends to about 80. That's 60 years of productive life. If you're 40 right now, you've used 20 of those 60 years. That's 1/3. You still have 2/3 of your productive life in front of you. Read that again, not some years left. 2/3. When Schwartz ran this with students who felt hopelessly behind, something shifted. The fog lifted. Because the story we tell ourselves, that we're late, that our window is closing, is often just not mathematically true. So why do smart, motivated people keep chasing speed? Here's what the research actually says. In 1970, Harvard political scientist Edward Banfield published a controversial study on why some people escaped poverty and others didn't. He looked at intelligence, education, family structure, and one by one, he ruled them out as the main driver of success. What he found instead surprised everyone: long-time perspective. People who built successful, wealthy lives shared one trait. They factored the future into every daily decision. They thought in years and decades, not weeks and months. In contrast, people who stayed stuck optimized for the next 30 days, next paycheck, next pleasure, next shortcut. This wasn't about talent or opportunity. It was entirely about how they related to time itself. And here's where it gets really practical. Canadian psychologist Elliot Jacques studied organizational hierarchies and noticed something fascinating. The reason senior executives are paid dramatically more than frontline workers has almost nothing to do with how hard they work. It has everything to do with the timeframes they operate in. A line manager thinks in weekly targets. A department head plans annually. A CEO charts the course for the next decade or two. Jacques argued that people rise not by working harder, but by seeing further ahead. Jeff Bezos understood this instinctively. When he was considering leaving a comfortable Wall Street job to start an online bookstore in the mid-1990s, his boss took him on a 2-hour walk trying to talk him out of it. Bezos didn't argue in the moment. He changed the time horizon entirely. He projected himself forward to 80 years old, looked back, and asked, "Would I regret not trying this?" The answer was obvious. He left, drove across the country with his wife while typing the business plan in the passenger seat, and launched Amazon from a garage. Warren Buffett built the world's most studied investment fortune the exact same way. While everyone around him demanded quick returns, Buffett picked businesses he believed in and then waited, sometimes for decades. He said it directly. No matter how great the talent or effort, some things just take time. You cannot produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. Now I want to bring this even closer to home. I launched my educational platform, NGS101.com, around the time I turned 40. It teaches next-generation sequencing data analysis to researchers and scientists worldwide. Today, it serves tens of thousands of scientists globally. But there was no viral launch, no overnight flood of users. There was quiet, consistent work. Lessons written late at night, content refined based on feedback, a community built one helpful answer at a time. If I had been running on the fast money mindset, expecting results within months and abandoning ship when early traction felt slow, that platform would not exist. You cannot hurry the kind of trust that makes people choose your work over everyone else's. This connects directly to what Butler-Bowdon calls lead time, the years of preparation, practice, and apparent going nowhere that precede every breakout success. Research on mastery suggests it takes roughly a decade of sustained, focused effort to reach the level most people associate with overnight success. Not talent, not a viral moment, time under load. Dan Brown published 4 novels that went largely unnoticed before The Da Vinci Code became one of the best-selling books in history at age 38. Lee Child didn't publish his first Jack Reacher novel until age 40, after being fired from television. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he started franchising KFC, sleeping in the back of his car, collecting a nickel per chicken from restaurants who used his recipe. He didn't become genuinely wealthy until his 70s. Warwick Main Wilson was a retired diplomat who enrolled in a landscape architecture degree at 49 and built one of Sydney's most respected firms. Emily Kame Kanwari didn't begin her professional painting career until she was around 78. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor in history, has made the majority of his wealth after the age of 60. These are not exceptions. This is the pattern. The slow-cooked version of success isn't the consolation prize for people who missed the fast track. It is the only track that actually works long-term. The Italian proverb says it perfectly. Chi va piano, va lontano. Who goes slowly, goes far. Not far enough. Not almost as far. Far. So here's what I want you to do before this episode is done. Take 5 minutes. Do the Schwartz calculation. Take your age, subtract 20, divide by 60. That's the fraction of your productive life you've used. Now write down one thing you've always wanted to build or create. The thing you keep talking yourself out of because it feels too late. Put a 10-year horizon on it. Ask yourself, what could this actually become if I gave it a decade of serious, consistent work? Chances are, the answer is extraordinary. Stop chasing the midnight presale. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Drop the get-rich-quick fantasies and replace them with a decade-long plan. Then go to work, quietly, consistently, and without rushing. Your life is longer than the marketing tells you. The biggest opportunities are not the ones you have to act on by midnight. They're the ones you're willing to build toward for years. Haste makes waste. Patience makes masterpieces. You are not too late. You are right on time. If this episode hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and head over to bullishbooks.com to read the full original article. The link is in the description. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and I'll see you in the next episode.